3, 2, 1.
A cross-pollination of Thomas Edison and Tony Stark, Elon Musk.
Elon Musk continues to make things great. From PayPal to Tesla to SpaceX to Starlink and who knows where else.
Give it everything I've got, irrespective of what the circumstances may be. You just keep going and get it done.
How much of your personal fortune have you poured into this?
$100 million.
$100 million into something that you did not believe would work at the beginning.
Yes.
Lift off at the Falcon 9.
8 weeks later, Musk bet the company on another flight.
We have liftoff.
This time around, everything worked.
Perfect.
If that fourth launch hadn't worked, that would have been it. We would have not had the resources to mount a fifth.
If we don't succeed, then we will be certainly pointed to as a reason why people shouldn't even try for these things. So I think it's important that we do whatever is necessary to keep going.
If you like what you're doing, you think about it even when you're not working. It's something that your mind is drawn to. And if you don't like it, you just really can't make it work, I think. Whatever area that you get into, given that, even if you're the best, there's always a chance of failure. So I think it's important that you really like whatever you're doing. If you don't like it, life is too short.
The odds of me coming into the rocket business, not knowing anything about rockets, not having ever built anything, I mean, I would have to be insane if I thought the odds were in my favor.
Why even begin?
When something is important enough, you do it even though the odds are not in your favor.
Persistence is extremely important. You should not give up unless you're forced to give up. There's no other choice. And just work like hell. I mean, you just have to put in 80 to 100-hour weeks every week. If other people are putting in 40-hour work weeks and you're putting in 100-hour work weeks, then even if you're doing the same thing, you know that you will achieve in 4 months what it takes them a year to achieve.
Moving on to the midday of this billionaire, we find that he splits his time fairly evenly between his two largest companies, SpaceX and Tesla, with Tesla winning out ever so slightly in terms of weekly hours. For Musk, 42 hours of his week are spent at Tesla and 40 are at SpaceX. And when he's at work, oh boy, you can bet he's giving it his full focus.
How did you get the expertise to be the chief technology officer of a rocket ship company?
I do have a physics background. That's helpful as a foundation. And then I read a lot of books and talked to a lot of smart people.
I think my sort of drive to get it done is somewhat disconnected from hope, enthusiasm, or anything else. I actually just don't care about hope or enthusiasm, motivation.
And we'll be sure to read. There are claims that he will finish 2 books a day, listen to podcasts and audiobooks.
He lent him titles such as Rocket Propulsion Elements, Fundamentals of Astrodynamics, and the International Reference Guide to Space Launch Systems, just to name a few. That Musk appeared to have memorized close to everything he read. Because of this, Musk was equipped with the knowledge and the vocabulary to carry on conversations about rocket science, astrodynamics, and other topics.
If you're going to create a company, you have to come up with a product or service that you think will be compelling, that would serve some need. And then really a great company is just built around great product or service. That's the whole purpose of a company, is to propagate that product or service and put it in the hands of people who would find it useful. And so I think that's the main thing, is try to think of the most useful thing you could do for your fellow human beings, and then a company is the process of scaling that up and in scope, increasing that in scope and scale.
When you're trying to create a company, what you're really trying to do is organize a group of people to do something useful. Something useful is as measured by other people who are the consumers of your products and services. This may seem like an obvious thing, but often people will organize groups into a company that doesn't produce something useful. If you're creating a company or if you're joining a company, the most important thing is to attract great people. So either join a group that's amazing, that you really respect, or if you're building a company, you've got to gather great people. I mean, all a company is a group of people that have gathered together to create a product or service. And so depending upon how talented and hardworking that group is, and the degree to which they are focused cohesively in a good direction, that will determine the success of the company. So do everything you can to gather great people if you're creating a company. When you hire people, or really what you're trying to, when you hire people, that just means you're convincing people to join you in the endeavor. You should hire people that are also passionate about what you're doing. So it's not just that they're not just there for salary, that they really need to care about what they're doing. And then they will stay during the dark times. It's very important to seek out, to actively seek out and listen very carefully to negative feedback. And this is something that people tend to avoid because it's painful. But I think this is a very common mistake, is to not actively seek out and listen to negative feedback.
A well thought out critique of whatever you're doing is as valuable as gold. And you should seek that from everyone you can, but particularly your friends. Usually your friends know what's wrong, but they don't want to tell you because they don't want to hurt you. So they'll say, oh, I want to encourage my friend, so I'm not going to tell him what I think is wrong with this product. Yeah. It doesn't mean your friends are right, but very often they are right. And you at least want to listen very carefully to what they say.
When friends get a product, I say, look, don't tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like. And because otherwise your friend is not going to tell you what he doesn't like. He's going to say, oh, I love this and that, and then leave out the this is the stuff I don't like list. Because he wants to be your friend, it doesn't want to offend you. So you really need to sort of coax negative feedback. And you know that if somebody is your friend, or at least not your enemy, and they're giving you negative feedback, then they may be wrong, but it's coming from a good place. And sometimes even your enemies give you good negative feedback.
And you had that third failure in a row. Did you think, I need to pack this in?
Never.
Why not?
I don't ever give up. I mean, I'd have to be dead or completely incapacitated. I didn't think it would be easy. Like I said, I thought they would probably fail. But creating a company is almost like having a child. So it's sort of like, how do you say your child should not have food?
So once you have the company, you have to feed it and nurse it, and take care of it, even if it ruins you.
Yeah.
This is not good. People should not work this hard. They should not do this. It's very painful.
Painful in what sense?
It hurts my brain and my heart. It hurts. This is not recommended for anyone. I just did it because if I didn't do it, then good chance Tesla would die. I mean, Tesla really faced a severe threat of death due to the Model 3 production ramp. Essentially, the company was bleeding money like crazy, and just if we didn't solve these problems in a very short period of time, we would die. And it was extremely difficult to solve them.
How close to death did you come?
Within single-digit weeks.
I just have the absence of fear. I feel it quite strongly. But there are just times when something is important enough, you believe in it enough, that you do it in spite of fear. People shouldn't think, well, I feel fear about this and therefore I shouldn't do it. Drive overrides fear.
It's about believing in the future and thinking that the future will be better than the past. And I can't think of anything more exciting than going out there and being among the stars.
In Musk's world, it lit the darkness.
But,
When critics say you can't do this, your answer to them is,
we've done it. It's important that humanity become a multi-planet species. I think most people would agree that a future where we're a spacefaring civilization is inspiring and exciting compared with one where we are forever confined to Earth until some eventual extinction event. You know, that's really why I started SpaceX.
When we can learn from people who have achieved great level of success, and the phrase stand on shoulders giant. So for example, you've just watched a series of what make this person great. Now if you adopt these same behaviors, some may work for you, some may not. But the series and other videos that we share will hopefully help you achieve levels of greatness in your life. Adopting behaviors that successful people do will only help you out achieve more. You can take some and you can drop some. You don't have to do them all. Some may work for you, some may not. So hopefully you learn from these behaviors, you start adapting some to your life. I get to create a video about what makes you great in the future. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I appreciate you watching these videos. Thank you.